Hey guys, I'm Glitter Valkyrie, and today we are pulling on the Emblem Sigurd banner. He is my favorite male character from FE4, and so of course we have to pull this brand new form. And so we can talk about this banner as we pull, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I want to start out by saying that I am sorry if my voice sounds a little bit off today. I'm unfortunately sick and super congested, but Sigurd is here, so we have to pull. And I do think that our plan for pulling today is going to be to try to stick to blues as best we can, because I feel like most of the value on the banner is concentrated there. And of course, Sigurd is the top priority because he's new and he is a character that I love. And I will say I have a few mixed feelings about the way he was added, because I think that he's going to be a very, very powerful character, but I'm also very afraid of what he is going to do to the meta. Like with all of our engaged heroes, I feel like they've been very, very difficult to deal with, and I think he is going to be no exception, but at the same time, I want him because I think he's great. So yes, he is the top priority, but I'd also be really happy with Lumera and Celica. I do have them both, but they're also both characters that I love, so I think they're also great choices. And oh my goodness, Celica. Oh my gosh, I am so happy to see her. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus attack. That is so good. And so we will just keep going. Hopefully she can bring Sigurd home with her. But I think that I was saying that we're going to try and stick to blues, and if we don't have blues, I really have no... Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see Lumera. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is plus speed. I am so happy with this. And you know what? I feel like we might as well just pull this entire circle. Like with 2 5-stars, I feel like I just have to do it. And hopefully we didn't use up all of our good luck with these first couple pulls, but I think this has been an amazing start. And I do think that after this, we will try to go back to sniping mostly blues, but there are actually characters in every single color that I want. So if we don't have blues available, I think that we're just going to go with the do what feels right approach. And so I think that I've actually covered pretty much everything I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and answer some viewer questions. And as always, if I don't get to yours, I am so sorry. I'll try to do it in a future one. And if you think of a question you want to ask me, just put it in the comments with #question, and I will be sure to put your question on my list. And so our first question today comes from Elroy, and they ask, what were your thoughts on the Attuned Erica banner? So that banner was actually one that I did skip, so there was obviously no video for it. And unfortunately, the reason that I skipped it was because I was very unhappy with the choices for the banner. And I think part of it was because every single time there's a Sacred Stones banner, I have such high hopes because it is my second favorite game, and they're some of my most beloved characters that I want to see on there. And so when it's a banner I don't like, I'm typically more disappointed. Oh, I think that's one of the Dimitris, but I don't know which one. Oh, it's the purple one. You know what? I am happy with this. Okay, let's check IVs. And he is plus res. I am happy with the merge for him. And so we will just keep going with this very lucky question. And I think that I was saying that for Sacred Stones, it's always super high stakes because I love the game so much. And so unfortunately, I was very disappointed with the way that banner was handled. And I think part of it was we've gotten so many different forms of Erica when it could have been a different character, namely La Rochelle. And I know that that is my bias, but I love the character, and we've gotten so many Ericas, and I would have loved to see something different. So didn't want to pull for her, did not care about the OC in the slightest. And as for the other two on the banner, I think that Amelia definitely deserved an alt. It's actually very surprising that she hasn't gotten one up to this point. But she's also not like one of my favorite characters, so I didn't really want to spend for her. And then lastly on the banner, we have Ford. And I'm actually more of a Kyle girl. I didn't care that much about Ford. And I was also still a little bit salty that Franz got passed over. I know it makes less sense for him to be on that banner with the choices that were made, but I love Franz. I really wanted him to be there, so I was really disappointed. And so that is why there was no video for it, and I'm hoping that the next Sacred Stones banner is a little bit more to my liking. But thank you so much, Elroy, for that very lucky question. Okay, please be Sigurd. And we get a Reinhardt. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this next blue, and let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this comes from Ricky Lee. And they ask, who are your favorite male and female lords? So this is kind of a little bit difficult to answer, mostly because I feel like in the most recent games, it's been kind of muddied exactly what counts as a lord. Like, do you count characters like Xander and Diamant and Ivy, or do you just stick to like the main protagonist, like Alir or Corrin? It's really hard to say. But if I'm going with the more like traditional definition of a lord, I think that for my favorite female lord, I would have to go with Lucina. I just felt her struggle so much. She totally resonated with me. She was also my daughter in every single playthrough, and I love everything about her, so she has to be my favorite. And then as for my favorite male lord, I feel like I can't say Xander because he's maybe not the main lord, but if he counted, I would go with him. But if we're going with like a more traditional example, I think that I'd probably go with Claude because he is super fun. But thank you so much for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one. And this comes from Chi 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 Chi. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh, I am so happy to see her again. Okay, let's check this one. And she is plus speed. That is so good. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and get back to this question from Chi 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 that I did not even get to say. But they ask, what do you do when you get a focus hero that you did not want to get? Like that time you accidentally got Baby Tana on the FE8 banner by pulling the wrong color. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I did that. But I will say that depending upon the character, it's going to definitely change what I do with whatever fodder the character has. So in the case of Baby Tana, like I do like Tana as a character, but at that time I was trying to plus 10 my baby Larshel, so that was a little bit disappointing. But in her case, I kept her because I do like her, and honestly, I really don't use her all that much. But as for characters that I don't like, I pretty much always fodder them. I used to be at a point where I would keep one copy of every character, but at this point we have so many characters and limited space, and I know that if I don't like a character, I 100% will not use them. So I'm pretty much at the point where if I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use them, I will fodder them to someone who I love. But thank you so much for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Kyle Minocchio. And they ask, who do you think is the game's cutest / most adorable unit? So I feel like there are a ton of choices to go with, but if I have to only pick just one, I would go with Baby Larshel because I think she is so incredibly adorable. When that banner came out, I was so blown. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I am so happy to see her again. Okay, let's check this one. And she is plus HP. I will take it. And actually, you know what? I want to ask you guys a question about what you are doing with engaged characters that you get extra copies of. Like, I want to merge my Celica up just because I love Celica, but is it a smart thing to do? Like, I would love to hear your guys' advice because I really don't know. But getting back to our very lucky question from Kyle, I was saying that with the baby banner for FE8, I was blown away because I feel like they translated Larshel's form into a kid so well, and she's still one of my favorite units to this day. But thank you for that very lucky question. And let's go ahead and answer our next one, and this comes from Gauso Koita, and I'm sorry if I said your name incorrectly. And they ask, who are your top 3 male and female OCs? So if we're going to start with the male characters, I feel like there aren't too many to choose from, but I have to say my favorite is Hellbindi. And then after that, I think I would go with Asker just because he's super nice, and then I'd probably go with Alphonse. And then as for the female OCs, we have way more to choose from. Oh my gosh, that is Guinevere. Oh my goodness. And mine is plus 10, but I do love her as a character. Okay, let's check IVs. And she is plus defense. I will take it. And so getting back to our very lucky question, I was saying that we have a lot of female OCs to choose from, but to this day, Triandra is still my number Holy smokes. Oh my goodness, she really, really wants to come home today. Okay, let's check this one. And she's perfectly neutral. I will take it. And hopefully she can call Sigurd home with her. But getting back to this incredibly lucky question, I was saying that Triandra is still my #1 favorite OC, and then probably my second favorite is still Leg Yarn, and my third favorite female OC is probably actually Ymir. But thank you so much for that incredibly lucky question. Okay, please be Sigurd. Okay, Smoke. And we get a Sully. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this next blue, and let's go ahead and answer our next question. And this comes from Emblem Hero. And they ask, what units do you go for when we get the free arena summon ticket? And who do you think is the best option? So who I think is the best option is probably different from everyone else, because most of the time when I'm pulling, I'm trying to complete some +10 projects of older characters. So right now, I try to go for blue because I'm really trying to finish up my Micaiah. She's currently +9, so close, so I'm trying to get her. And if I don't have blues, I'll usually go for greens just because I'm trying to finish up my Myr. She's also +9, and I would love to get the +10 on her. But thank you so much for that great question. And let's go ahead and answer another one. I think we have time for at least one more. And this comes from Professor Toad. And they ask, which units get a floret from you, and was it worth it for everyone? So I want to start out by saying that it is always worth it for the characters that I choose, because I only give them to my absolute favorites. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, we got Snake Lady. And you know what? I think she is new for me, so I'll take this. And she's new. And we get a blessing. Let's check IVs. And she is +defense. I will take it. And honestly, I feel like we might as well just get to 40. I feel like we should just be efficient. But getting back to our very lucky question, I was saying that I don't regret a single floret because I love all the characters that I chose. And so, of course, I gave one to every single La Rochelle. I gave one to my legendary Xander and regular and dancing. Eventually, I'd love to do them all. I gave one to Diamant and Sarah. I gave them to most of the Claudes up to this point. I also gave one to my Ninja Corin, and I gave one to Elise, and most recently I gave one to my Summer Ivy, and it was super worth it for every single one. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh my gosh, you know what? I love Haether, so I'll take this. And we get a blessing, and there's 40. Let's check IVs. And she is +HP. I am happy with this. And you know what? I feel like we're here. It's 3 orbs. We have to do it. But thank you so much, Professor Toad, for that incredibly lucky question. Okay, maybe this is Micaiah. Or it's Shershay. Okay, so we hit our 40, so we can go ahead and do our Spark. And of course, we have to take Sigurd. I am so happy that we have this option. Oh my gosh. I am so thankful that we're able to get him to come home. And we get the thing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end things here. I am so happy with how this went. We got Sigurd, we got 10 million Celicas, and a bunch of other great stuff too. And if you guys are pulling on this banner, I hope you're just as lucky. And I also want to say big thank you to everybody submitting questions. I so appreciate you taking the time out of your day to help support the channel, so thank you so much. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.